Roll call. Mayor Pro Tem Scott Rogers.
Here.
Councilmember Stacy McKinney.
Here.
Councilmember Caleb Allen.
Here.
Councilmember George Martinez.
Here.
And Councilmember Craig Baker.
Here.
Move on to item number 3, citizens wishing to address City Council. 3 minutes per speaker is allowed on any item related to the city, including items listed on the agenda. 5 minutes will be allowed during a public hearing. Citizens may speak at the beginning of a meeting or at the time the item comes before council in accordance with Texas Government Code, Section 551.007. Comments will be allowed before considering each item on the agenda, provided that the city secretary has received a speaker request form before the start of the meeting. No action may be taken by the city council during public comments. And I did receive several. Now, the ones I have are all pertaining to a certain item. So did we have any other turned in? Okay, then we'll wait and allow those citizens to speak for their specific agenda item. So we will move on to item number 4. Announcements by the mayor, city council members, or staff. At this time, reports about items of community interest on which no action will be taken may be given to the public per chapter 551.0415 of the government code. Did anyone have any announcements this evening for community interest?
The farmer's market coming up quickly.
Sure. So we do have, did we get an updated date for that, David?
Yeah, farmer's market is still taking place on July 25th. We are not going to be able to have it at the new park site because that parcel is still out in the county, and we have to follow basically all the fees, restrictions, and so the farmers market that is going to take place on July 25th will happen right out here in front of the court police building. And it was still going to be the same farmers market in the evening, a movie night right after. So it will still be a great time as we're working through the annexation process of the park parcels. The next one will more than likely be at the park site.
Okay.
It's still like free popcorn.
Yes, yeah, the same amenities and little things for the kids and adults will be available.
Okay. And just what time? What time will that be?
5 to 9.
5 to 9.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the 25th. So that's this Saturday.
This
out
Saturday.
here.
Movie starts at 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, please try to come to that if you can. I know this is something we've had a lot of residents ask for, and I hope it's something we can kind of establish and it gets some legs under it and grows. Harvest Fest, Harvest Cotton Fest, November 9th, 7th. Okay. Cotton Fest, November the 9th. That'll be a little later than we normally do it. The 7th, sorry, 6, 7. So that'll be November the 7th. And as we've done before, we'll have it out here. And that'll be a great event. And again, we're doing it a little bit later. So hopefully the weather will cooperate and it'll cool off. And that's always a great event. So that's several months away, but put that on your calendar. Any other announcements this evening? Okay, then we'll move on to item number 5, communications from mayor and council. Receive council member requests for future agenda items, current and future items of community interest, and other items of interest regarding the city of Crandall. This is, if you would like to have something added to the agenda for the next meeting, now would be the time to ask for that. So I will open it up. Does anyone have anything they would like added to the next agenda? All right, we'll keep. Okay. All right. This is for council, George. Yeah, you're good. All right. No? Okay. Then we will move on to item number 6, updates and discussion by the city manager and staff. And I will turn it over to our city manager. I know we have several presentations this evening, so we'll get that turned over to David Sanchez.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. So tonight, we have some quarterly reports from our executive team. I know that in the past, we've had code enforcement, police give you quarterly reports. So as an effort to have more transparent communication with our council and citizens, I've requested our executive team to do quarterly presentations as well on the other areas of the city. So I'll turn the time over to them so that they can do their quarterly presentations.
Evening. All right, we are going to go over, which one is? Okay, progress with purpose, supporting our community through service leadership and strategy, and how administration serves our community. So this is going over human resources, our core functions, and marketing and communication. So under administration, this is connecting people, information, and purpose. Under human resources, this is just the basic core function. Hiring, employee support, benefits administration, policy support, workplace culture. And then under marketing and communications which is Melita. It is social media, branding, public information, website management, and community engagement. Our impact at a glance. So here's a brief data reflection of the Director of Administration, myself, and Communications and Marketing, which is Melita, from 2025 to 2026 fiscal year. Our HR overview, employees hired over that time frame, it's been 6. Our current employee status right now is 48, and we have a current job openings of 6. And then with our hiring outreach, we have been using our website, TML, which is Texas Municipal League. It's a common municipality website to get employee positions filled, careers in government. And then we began our outreach currently this year with Indeed and LinkedIn. Facebook growth, we've had quite a bit of Facebook growth from this time last year to this year. We've had quite a few increased in viewment, engagement, and links, clicks. And then our website data for 2026 has also increased pretty aggressively. So over the past year, we've gotten quite a bit more social media and growth out there in the social media and website. Our 25-26 wins, we have onboarded 6 new employees over multiple departments. Our training and development, we had introduced a new software called Scribe to our employees. And that's for each of the employees to be able to get their processes together. And so as we do onboarding to new employees or cross with current, that way they can be able to do another person's job or a new person coming in doing a job. We have community outreach. We've organized successfully our spring cleanup community event with additional events that I'll tell you here shortly. New campaigns. We have officially launched this year a new campaign called Crandall Cleanup Campaign. And we'll talk about that here in a second. Crandall Park, we've acquired the land acquisition and announced it on social media. Have had hundreds of community feedback on that, all being positive. So that's been really good. It is available. The survey's on our city website under Departments, Parks and Recs. If you go under there, you'll see the surveys and what everybody has made mention and what the top 3 is, et cetera. Social media, we've, of course, had good, primarily on Facebook is where our social media is. Live stream updates. We have transitioned over to YouTube. And this gains better control over our live streams and the software and your cameras to enhance the overall quality here for y'all at the City Council. And then our new website, we have acquired huge cost savings on a new website. It's going to be called GovWeb. And that'll still preserve all the quality and services that we still have today, but the website cost is aggressively less. It's much better. Our current priorities. I'll skip one. Website project. We're working with GovWeb to have a fully operational website by December the 31st or the 1st. I wonder if let me see something real quick. Oh yeah. Okay. All right. I'm all over the place. Okay. So our priorities right now for our team is a website project, which is working on GovWeb to have done by December the 1st. We'll clean up the current pages and old information from our current site today to our new site. Community outreach, Crandall Cleanup Campaign. We'll be doing that on a quarterly basis. Upcoming Cotton Festival and our Christmas Festival will be coming up. And then filling positions. We seek additional ways to reach out and find qualified candidates. And then ADA compliance, we're creating templates, uploading any new content with proper ADA standards. And this all needs to be in compliant by 2028, but Melita is currently now updating the website, and anything that's getting uploaded is ADA compliant. So she's ahead of the game and will be fully functional and compliant by 2028. Benefit search, we're researching employee benefit programs that best fit the city's needs and along with the employees. And then I had attended the Texas Health Benefits Conference just to get some more information on Texas Health. And then goals, so our upcoming goals, fill the existing 6 positions along with any newly approved job duties that y'all approve for the roles that's out there right now that's been requested. I'll be working on the employee handbook policy. We'll update the current employee handbook policy to reflect the new legislative updates, changes in policy, and 50+ employee requirements because we are at that. So here soon enough, it'll be that 50+, which brings a whole new can of worms. So training and development, I've been accepted into a state recognized human resource program, which is called TMHRA CP. It's a certification program. It's a week long that I'll be going to in November. And then Melita will be going to an annual communications and marketing conference in September. So she'll bring, I'm sure, many, many new ideas. Community outreach, we're exploring new event ideas. This is where y'all can also get involved and say some things that maybe y'all would like to see. We're looking at maybe a trunk or treat for October, Halloween, 4th of July, maybe fireworks parade, Easter drop, egg drop. I mean, we just got some other ideas that we've been looking at. So especially with our new park that we have, we'll be able to do quite a bit more items out there. So, or events. So things that you all might think of, just reach out to me and we can see what we can do. Crandall cleanup campaign. We started promoting this, of course, this year, and we're going to do it on a quarterly effort. We did do the spring cleanup, followed by we did a culverts of teaching the citizens that the culverts are their responsibilities to keep clean. So that was a Facebook social media post that we did not too long ago. So that was our second quarter. Our third quarter, we're looking at doing a highway business beautification week to clean up the businesses off the highway. So we'll be, we've gotten with our public works and with our code enforcement. So we're going to start handling that here in the next month. So hopefully we can get all the businesses involved and try to clean up our 1 mile run right there off the highway. And then at the end of the year, we'll come up with something else, maybe downtown. We haven't figured that out yet. So, but it'll be coming, and it'll be every year. So it'll be an annual Crandall cleanup campaign. Crandall Park, we'll have regular updates on that, parks development, social media, live stream. All this is kind of our goals, just to keep, quality to ensure optimal viewing for citizens. The website will be operational by December 1st. So all of that. And that's it. So sorry, that was really quickly and done. Thank you. All right, perfect. Yeah. Oh.
On the ADA,
Yes.
we are following TAS standards, correct? Because they supersede ADA in Texas. Oh, website ADA. Gotcha.
Any other questions?
Sorry.
Nope.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, good evening. Clayton Dickerson, your Public Works Director. My first quarterly update. Little joke, I'm still here. I finished my first full quarter with the city.
Hey, that's saying something.
No, it's been great. I believe it was a great second quarter of the year. So just the Public Works, couple updates. Our Public Works staff over the last quarter did complete a total of 653 work orders. 108 new water connections added to the system and 82 sewer connections added. That right there shows you we are still growing. Home building may have slowed down a little bit, but it's still coming. And we currently have 478 lots under inspection by the city, which is Arbors at Eastland Phase 3 out there off 741. So key water highlights are water and sewer repairs. We have a lot of major work, including, we've completed a lot of major work, including a pretty large water main we had behind City Hall, a main leak behind City Hall. 3 sewer manhole replacements, and we did just recently replace about 350 feet of old clay sewer line in town to try to limit a lot of our inflow and infiltration in the sewer system. Street and drainage improvement, we've completed numerous concrete repairs. Creekview spillway rehabilitation, that was part of the Creekview drainage project from the 2020 master plan. We've been trying to knock out a few things on it as well. That includes the Valley Gutter D rehabilitation on Creekview. And then continued Old Town Crandall asphalt patching. We've done quite a bit of asphalt patching here in downtown. Major projects moving forward. We do have our FM 741 pump station finally online. Now we are working out a few kinks with the city of Mesquite on actual flow from them. They still have an elevated ground storage tank on FM 2757 that is still under construction. Once they have that complete here in about 30 to 45 days, we will be able to get full capacity from them and get that pump station going. So that was a big milestone since I started here. I know you guys have been waiting on that for a long time. The Mowry Street Rehabilitation Project, Atmos finally has awarded that project and does have a contractor underway, and it has begun. The complex construction has begun. So we are moving forward with that. And then the North Lift Station, we're still in the design phase of the North Lift Station. And a brand new thing to the city of Crandall is our Diamond Maps GIS system. So one thing the city has not ever had in my time here is any kind of decent, reliable maps of the wastewater system, the water system, streets, street rehabs, drainage. Big issue in the city is drainage. We're working every day to implement some kind of GIS mapping system, and this was the best way to go about it. So we currently have about half of the water system and sewer system mapped. That includes your water mains, valves, sewer manholes, cleanouts, lines, distribution lines, and collection lines. So we are moving forward with that, and it is going to be a great thing for the city. And then, so what we delivered this quarter was basically water and sewer reliability. To my knowledge, we did not put anybody out of water this quarter. Thank goodness. If we did, it was quick fixes, and we didn't have to have it out very long. Valley gutter rehabilitation that I already went through with the drainage rehab projects, and then development support, maintain daily inspections at the Arbors at Eastland Phase 3, a 478 lot development currently progressing towards a January 2027 completion. Drainage improvements, street maintenance, and operational capacity. We have, and I apologize, I can't read that. I didn't make it big enough. Okay, that was just for the GIS system as well. Sorry, no, you don't have to make it. You don't have to zoom in like that. That last sentence was getting to me. And so anyways, these are basically just graphs and extra slides with all the information that our 741 pump station still in progress, Mowry Street rehabilitation and drainage still pending, utility conflicts, but those are under construction, North Lift Station in design, and then our GIS mapping system. Improvements behind the scenes. So again, we are doing daily inspections, daily inspection activity with clear project tracking and follow-up documentation. So that's something that the city's kind of lacked in the past, is keeping up with good records on things like that. So we are every day trying to implement new things to help us, to even help our field guys move a lot smoother. So preventative maintenance, training and service quality. We did actually get one of our guys licensed with his water distribution license this last quarter. and we're going to move forward with getting as many of our guys as we can water and wastewater license, because it's not only good, it's a requirement. So we will continue to strive to have as many water and sewer licensed operators as we can for our water and sewer system. And again, I'm going to skip over the GIS mapping, the procedures and record keeping. Same thing. We have moved to a more digitalized way of doing things. Anything that comes across my desk gets scanned and filed. And so, it's going to work the same way out in the field. We've kind of tried to go as electronically as we can to make things more, to go more smooth. And then vendor support and technology. So we contractor support and better mapping tools to improve seasonal maintenance and capacity and reporting. So the GIS mapping, like I said, will not only help us continue to make improvements to our water and wastewater system, they also help with keeping up with drainage projects, street rehabs. We'll add every pothole in the city that we can on that street, just to keep going down the list and making sure we get those fixed. So it's just the way to go. Keeping service reliable during growth related demand, more development activity and new connections require daily inspections, coordination, and forward planning. So everybody knows the city's been kind of part of a big boom for the last, 6 or 7 years, possibly decade. And it's only going to get, more, the workflow is only going to increase from here. Streets and drainage needs, street and drainage repair needs remain ongoing across town. And we'll continue to, for the next quarters to come, many years to come, we'll continue to make improvements to those. Also dealing with our aging infrastructure. So aside from all the new stuff that we have going on, we all know that Old Town Crandall we have water and sewer lines here that are 60, 70, 80 years old. So we're going to try everything we can to keep pushing for grant funding, for general funding, anything we can do to continue to replace our sewer and water lines in town. To keep that stuff reliable. And same thing with the streets and drainage needs. I know there's a lot of things going on around Old Town Crandall that need some repairs, and tender love and care. So we're going to work towards getting to that. So I encourage any citizens, don't be scared to reach out. Seriously, we're here to help. And I've tried my best to, respond to everybody's request. And then seasonal workload. So spring and summer maintenance needs increase, corridor mowing, cleanup, and response demands. So I can assure you, we did actually start having a contractor mow the highway. We don't have a great big budget for that this current year, but the next year we have budgeted to have the highway better maintained on a monthly or semi-monthly basis to keep 175 beautiful through Crandall. And so that is a big thing that we have implemented this last quarter. And supporting Crandall's growth, reliable utilities, development oversight, smarter asset management, and better streets and drainage. Those are our 4 main goals. I think I've covered a lot off of those 4. And what comes next? So of course, the completion of the pump station, Mowry Street project will hopefully be breaking ground and moving on that within the next 60 days. North Lift Station still in design. And again, we'll work on our GIS and asset inventory daily for years to come. And then other than that, that is it for my quarterly presentation. Now I wanted to point this out. I know at the last council meeting, there was discussion. I wasn't here, but I believe there was discussion about the 4.2 mile natural surface trail and gravel parking lot that's currently at the Wildcat subdivision. David did ask me to go through that and create a report to kind of get a visual on what it may cost the city to take over and maintain that. Now, it is 4.2 mile long trail, all in the woods, which it's beautiful. We've seen it. We went out there and did our inspections on the parking lot and some of the trail, and it is there. It is in fairly poor condition. It needs a lot of cleaning up. And so on and so forth. So this is kind of an overview of what we found. I don't know if it would be a great thing to take over for the city. I know it belongs to the Wildcat subdivision, which is outside of the city limits. That would be the first thing that would have to be addressed because again, the trail and the property that the trail is on is outside of the city limits. Ownership and conditions are unresolved. I know the current owner of that property is the Wildcat Homeowners Association. And then number three, the volunteer work is not guaranteed funding. So right now the trail is maintained by a volunteer group. Based on what we've seen, I'm not sure. Somebody may be going out there to mow and stuff, but we don't see any work going on the trails. Like I said, is it closed? Oh, is it? Okay, okay. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't realize the trail was fully closed. But we just don't know a lot about it. We went in there a few hundred feet, yeah, and it is in pretty poor shape. So a lot of trees down, a lot of, overgrown stuff and things like that. So again, there will be some cost that go into that, if we wanted to take that over. Now, again, a lot of this stuff, the estimated range being 65 to 120,000 a year, it's really all stimulates that's going to be our city labor included too. It takes a lot of guys and time and equipment to go through a 4.2 mile long trail and clean that thing up. And then we have to keep people out there every couple of weeks to maintain it. And that's 12 months out of the year because trees don't decide when they're going to fall over, especially all them ones in there. So, I mean, and again, it's just, it's not a very smooth surface. Again, it's a hiking and biking trail. It's not supposed to be. So there would be challenges, to get equipment and stuff in there to get that cleaned up and in use. A small, but another thing to think about, a small cost would be insurance and liability. There would be a liability to having a walking trail like that, and we would have our TML insurance most likely cover that, which again would just add to the cost of having that trail per year, which we did have that estimated. And so this is the report we drafted. These are what we found for that walking trail, and we just wanted to update you guys with it at this meeting. Again, that's not on the agenda tonight or anything.
No.
Is it? Okay, okay.
This is just
Okay. 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 Other than that, that is a map of the walking trail, just in case anybody wants to know where the trail that we're talking about. The road on the very far left is 148. And then, yeah, the walking trail is right there just on this is kind of turned, but I'd say that's it's the west side of the Wildcat subdivision. But that is it. Oh,
So,
Slide, Mr. Dickerson.
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I see recommended council direction. We're not taking any type of action tonight. So is this a hard no or a soft no? Is this something that we can table and think about possibly for 2027 or 2028?
Most definitely, yes. As we went through our council retreat just about a week ago, this is one of those items that, if it's not a priority today, it does not mean that it will not become a priority in the future. So it's not a hard no. It is doable. It is possible. We just need to make sure that it's financially feasible for the city to be able to take it on.
Is Stacy, I'm sorry, Stacy is taking the lead on this particular issue.
Mhm.
Is there any direction you would provide her or the council to assist on this, or do we just need to allow it to play out and then revisit later on in 2027, possibly for the 2028 budget?
Exactly. Yeah. At this point, I think it's something that we can kind of put in the back burner for the moment, and then we can revisit for FY28 in the future.
Do you have any feedback, Stacy?
No, I never heard from back from the developer, so everything's kind of still up in the air anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Thank you for saying it's
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
that's all I needed to hear.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There's still a chance.
yeah.
That's
Oh
right.
yeah, we're always.
I knew there always will be.
So
I would
you're
never
saying
stop,
there's a
but-
chance. Thank you, Mr. Dickerson.
All right.
That was
Thank
a
y'all.
good presentation.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. How are you this evening?
Very good, thank you.
I am
Finance,
here.
love it.
Yes, talk to you about the exciting world first of our investments and how we're doing with those. So, whoops, wrong one. This one? Oh, thank you. So first, we're going to talk about our quarterly investment report for the quarter ending June 30th. And this is a snapshot of our investments that we currently have at the city. And if you look at with a list we currently have holdings at tech school and a certificate of deposit. And so currently in 30 is a grand total of $784,169, of which it's divided in between the two components. And each component has a tax 0.52 and our CD is 3.03, making us an average yield of 3.27. And our CD is getting ready to graduate and mature tonight at midnight. So basically at 12:01 a.m., we will be free to invest those earnings elsewhere. We've decided not to renew. We're going to go ahead and reinvest it in one of the pools because the pools are earning so much more interest right now. So if we look at the next section, I'm required by law to section it out like this for you. Because if we had more than one account in pools, this is cumulative of our investment types. Next section makes me list it out. Well, we only have two things, one CD and one pool account. So here again, here's a rate by each type of investment, and here's each investment's maturity date. And then the last section is basically over the quarter, we'd earn $1,200 almost, and calendar year to date, a little over $8,900. And if you look at what we're yielding on these investments, again, for the quarter, our average yield was 3.27. It's comparative to or like to be compared to the T-bills, and you can see the different averages there. And this is why it's much more advantageous right now to park the maturing CD into a pooled account because we'll earn better interest. And then on the final slide, I'm just showing you our investment earnings by fiscal year. So you notice that we earn quite a bit more starting in 2025. And that's because at the end of 2024, we added $500 in principal to our investments. So hence, with that addition, we earned quite a bit more interest both last year and this year. So are there any questions over our investment earnings?
.327. I think it's less if it's weighted. It's 2/3 of the money's earned
It's-
3.03.
It's
yeah.
just an average, yes. Mhm.
So yeah, good job on looking elsewhere.
And the next thing I'm going to talk to you about tonight is, whoops, let me go back one. Customer care, fraud prevention, and PCI compliance. Everybody goes, wow, what's this going to be about? So basically, the goals of this presentation is to educate our customers and our residents by compliance, the step that this take to prevent fraudulent payments and to protect our customers' accounts, and to provide information on how our customers and residents can make payments to the city to pay for their utility accounts, permits, whatever it is that they need. So what is payment card industry data security compliance? Well, Webster says it's a set of technical and operational standards that businesses and governmental entities have to comply with. And it's specifically designed to protect your credit card and debit card data. And it gives specifications on how you accept those payments, how they're processed, how they're stored in our software systems, both in our systems and at the banking institutions, and how that information is transferred out there over the World Wide Web. So the responsibility of credit card and debit card processors, they have to maintain secure networks, protect and encrypt the transmitted data, implement strict access control. So who has access to that information at the bank? Annual PCI compliance audits. And the city's responsibilities. We have to maintain secure networks as well. We have to make sure that any information that we keep is secured. We have to ensure that the equipment that we use, the debit credit card readers are PCI. They are. Limit employee access to customer credit card information when taking in-person payments or storing that information. We do not store any credit debit card information at the city. But what we still do in some of our departments, not all, is take customer credit card, debit card payment information over the telephone. So PCI compliance is a contractually mandatory with our payment processors. Failure for the city or businesses to comply with those contractual agreements can produce the following results. We can incur non-compliance fees, financial liability if there are absolutely any data breaches. All the time, we get these daily in the mail, with all this little tiny fine print, please file a claim because there has been a security breach. Loss of the ability to process credit card, debit card activity in severe cases. So now I'd like to tell you about what safeguards do we currently have in place, what's our method of payments, how do we accept payments, and then the final slide will talk about what's coming in the future because we're always improving. So our safeguards, we do not store any credit card information in any of our software systems. So currently, if you go online to pay with a debit card, credit card, e-check, the moment that you hit that pay my bill button, you leave the city's website and you go directly into that banking processor's website. So they do not store your information either. We do not accept cash. We only accept checks and money orders, which make things safer for everyone. Our online payment portal is PCI compliant. Currently, the city is upgrading their credit card readers. That was required for us to do. We're also going through further implementations of new software. And so current payment methods. You can pay by checking account, auto draft for utility payments, online payment portal for utility and court payments. You can pay by credit card, debit card, and e-checks online. Front door drop box at City Hall. There is also another drop box located in the parking lot behind Brookshire's grocery store. A lot of people don't know about that one. Mail. You can always mail your payment. You can pay utility permits by credit card and debit cards currently over the telephone. Our municipal courts do not take any credit card or debit card payments over the telephone. What's changing? The city is currently wrapping up of implementations. So our permitting, zoning, and licensing department is upgrading their software. And it'll be going live here within the next couple of weeks. And once they go live, they can take payments online. Right now, they cannot. And so that's a great enhancement for our residents and for people who use our services. So new credit card, debit card readers are coming for all departments. We have enhanced payment portal for municipal courts, online payments for permits, plating, and zoning fees. And at that time, we're going to discontinue the taking of credit card, debit card payments over the telephone for the rest of the city departments. That'll make us have a unified platform for all departments on how we are accepting and processing payments. So, mind you, we're still under construction. So these enhancements will begin making their debut in August. We will do campaigns. We'll post it on social media. It'll be on our website so that everybody is comfortable with the changes as these come across. Are there any questions? All right. Thank you. Thanks. It's always so boring, that type of information.
Well, if you like that report, you're in for a treat. Very thorough. Good evening. Okay. All right. Good evening, Council, Mr. Mayor. My name is Stacey Brooks. I'm the code enforcement officer here. And my quarterly report looks different. So, okay. So for building, we have 79 new homes were created. Permits were pulled. Not all these have been completed yet, but there's only a handful left. We had a total of 257 permits pulled across the electrical, plumbing, the whole gamut. We are still way below compared to what we were last year, but we have picked up from last quarter. Code enforcement. Yes, 337 violations were written this quarter. It's the same as usual in summer. It's a aggressive approach towards grass and junk vehicles and trash and all the other stuff. Kind of coinciding with what Tamara was talking about, just a major cleanup. And I did meet with Tamara. We are going to make an effort to go along the highway and get certain things cleaned up that are definitely in need. We have two new businesses that started this last quarter. The Harmony Place. It's actually the Harmony Place 2. She came before council. Very nice lady. It's the daycare center that's at Main Street and 175. They are now open. They've been open now for about 3 weeks. They passed their fire inspection and final inspections, and they're doing pretty good. Treasure Hands Lab is actually they do a little bit of everything from DNA to criminal backgrounds to a whole lot of things there. So they just opened. They're up on highway. And Neighbors Helping Neighbors. As Councilman Rogers has reiterated every council meeting, we've done a lot. We've got three lawns that we've taken care of, or they have taken care of over the last quarter. But that's not just, like I've mentioned in the past, that's not just like one and done. They're coming back and, making sure throughout the entire season that these homes are taken care of, cleaned up, made sure that they're being taken care of. We had a family where we cleared some brush out, and I know Councilman Rogers had mentioned there was a older lady that her AC unit busted. We were able to get her temporary AC until hers was fixed. And so we still have lots of people reaching out in need. We've had a few volunteers, but we still need more. So anybody that's looking to volunteer and help, we need the help. Oh, sorry. Thank you. That's it for me. Any questions?
Good evening. I'm Forrest Price, and your police chief. So while I'm on this first slide, I want to kind of cover our staffing levels, since there's part of our staff. Currently, we're only 2 officers down. We have one cadet in the police academy. He'll graduate next month, and so he'll start his field training. We have 2 officers in field training. One was a academy graduate of ours, and another is a certified officer that we hired. But on top of that, right now, currently we have two openings, and then I believe we're adding 2 more in October. So we have a test coming up next month for new officer positions. And so I know we have like 16 resumes. So out of that 16, we'll see how many show up to take our entrance test. So that's kind of our staffing levels right now. So I know at one time I was before council and I was sweating up here because we were like 7 short. And for an agency our size, 7 short's a lot. And so it kind of feels full staff now. We're only down 2. We attended a couple of events this last quarter. One being the Special Olympics torch run. Officer Bowman and Sergeant Moreno both attended that and represented us. It happened over in Forney. So we're proud of them. We attended the Regional Police Academy graduation in Arlington, where our own Assistant Chief Eli sung the national anthem. So y'all missed it. He likes to sing. If you've ever been here, he's sung one time in court, the national anthem. I forgot what holiday it was, but he was invited to sing at the Police Academy graduation, and he did that last month. And then we also attended the Crime Victims Luncheon over in Kaufman County. It's their annual luncheon we have to recognize some of the workers that deal with these crime victims and recognize some of the victims and wins of some of our cases. This quarter, officers attended 595 total hours of documented training. I won't go through there's a long list of training that we did, but some of the highlights I have listed there. The Public Information Officer, PIO, is a mandated training that every agency has to have now. So you're looking at one of them. And Assistant Chief Eli is the other. And that's annual training that we have to go to every year. New mandate that came out of part of the Uvalde incident. We had 2 officers go to a new instructor school, so they'll help with some training classes. The same 2 will be attending firearms instructor school, so we'll have 2 additional firearms instructors. And then, of course, y'all bought us new weapons that will require red dot. We will then have to send them to red dot instructor school. So there's got an instructor for everything. This time around to get us, we actually issued our red dots last week. They taught us over at the county. They had a red dot instructor, so everybody attended that class last week. We also had 2 officers attend field training officer school, and that allows them to be documented certified trainers. So kind of cover our end on that, so we don't have new guys train new guys and pass the class. Then we had a new detective, an officer attend the new detective class. That's also a 40-hour class. And then we also had new supervisor training, Sergeant Moreno. He's our newest supervisor. So he attended that training. There's a bunch of other training in there a lot of it's mandated and boring. But those were the big ones of the quarter. This page is just a kind of an update on our service, our activity. This year we had, or this last quarter, we've answered 6,056 calls of service. That's up about 900 from last quarter. So we're a little bit busier. Traffic is the second one. You can't read this. How many traffic stops we made? It's 1,664, which is up about 500 from last quarter. I do want to say those are not all traffic tickets. We give a lot of warnings. So the point of a traffic stop is to educate, not to punish. So if we can educate those wrong deals with a warning, that's what we choose to do. This third column here is, I can't even read it on my notes. Incidents. That's how many, should have known that. Incident reports. All right. our incident reports that we had taken, and those are it's pretty flush from what we had last quarter. I think we're up like 3 from last quarter. So we had more calls, but it's about the same amount of reports. So that's a good thing. And these are 104 arrests. That same about flush with last quarter. And the last thing, of course, is accident reports. That was actually up about 5 accident reports for the quarter. So further down on my zoomed in slide, our average response time, this includes Heartland and Crandall combined, is 4 minutes and 20 seconds. That's kind of a combination between priority 1 and priority 3, all averaged together. So if you take out, if a guy's coming from Crandall for going to Heartland or whatever, it's a 6-mile trip out there if there's not one already out there. And these are 609 documented extra patrols and security checks. I'll be honest with you, there's probably a bunch of more. A lot of guys don't get on there. These are the ones that they actually got on their computer and logged. This next column over here is 226 is how many cases that got assigned to investigators in the last quarter. They filed, this number here is how many cases they filed with the district attorney's office. This is how many cases they cleared. So not every one of these is something that we can solve. Some of our incidents, some of them aren't crimes. So that's a lot of the difference in numbers. So, and then this is 47's amount of arrest warrants and search warrants they obtained for the quarter. 47, and they're all all the numbers are kind of up a little bit for this quarter from last. Yes.
You were saying you're up on general calls 900 versus
Yes.
prior quarter, and I think it was 400 on the second one, traffic stops. So are you able, is there a rhythm to the calls? Did you anticipate that during Q2 you would be plus that many calls?
I mean, so Q2 had part of the beginning of summer in it, so that had a lot. Had July 4th in it. That's a lot of calls.
Okay.
So I mean, that's
Memorial Day.
yeah, had the fireworks and all that stuff's a lot of calls. So, and this number includes all like public services we've taken as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So does it concern you when you plus, now I'm not talking, well, I mean, obviously the citizens would be concerned from a public safety standpoint, but when you look at the business of the police station, was that when you were plus 900, you were like, okay.
No,
I can
I
see
mean,
that.
just being the season, no. What would concern me is my next page on my next slide with the
Good.
reports.
Great segue.
The type of reports that are reported. So, looking at these reports, so this year, this quarter, last year, the same quarter. So if you look at you can't really read it, but this number is a little bit smaller than this number. So these are the total number of incidents reported to the state. And then these columns is crimes against person, crimes against property, and these are crimes against society. So these are where the state of Texas is the victim. So drug charges and that sort of thing. Well, if you look at the numbers, everything's down except for when you come down to the state level charges. So these are more of the officer initiated activity stuff. So like traffic stops ends up into a drug arrest or a weapons charge or something like that. These are like assaults, crimes against persons, assaults and all and that sort of thing. And then of course these are thefts and burglaries, property crimes. Both of these are actually down from the last quarter. And if I take a snapshot of probably last quarter, I would say it's kind of probably a flat line. So it's not a real big increase. Mm-hmm.
So this is fantastic to have a decline in these areas.
It's great not to be going up.
Yes.
Too much.
Amen. What's, is there anything you want to take a moment and anybody you want to recognize on that is there something that you're doing in your department?
Our guys like to patrol a lot. I have a couple of officers. If you think of Crandall, it's only 4 square miles. I have officers putting 200 miles an hour on their car.
Wow.
So that means they're not out there. And if you're out there stopping cars a lot, you're not putting a lot of miles. So it tells me what they're doing is they're driving around a lot. And so they do a lot of driving. But I have one of my officers on nights. He literally, he's consistent with 200 plus miles every single night.
That's great.
So it tells me he's patrolling. You know, he's not sitting in one spot under a shade tree. Well, he works nights, so it wouldn't be a shade tree. But
Duly noted.
yeah, so he's not sitting around. You know, so if you're putting that many miles, because I've patrolled myself on a shift, and it's difficult to put any amount of miles in four square miles of town.
That's great.
So
Thank you
when I
for
worked for
sharing
the
that.
sheriff's office on patrol, I average about 300.
Okay.
And that's going from one end of the county to the next. It's
Right.
going all over.
Wow.
So 200 miles plus in a city between our 4 square miles in Heartland, that's a lot.
Thank you.
That's all I got. Any questions?
No, sir. Thank you very much.
All right, appreciate it.
We have 3 items under the consent agenda this evening. Item A is to consider and act on approval of city council minutes from July 6, 2026. Item B, consider and act on approval of resolution number 07202026, a resolution by the city council of the city of Crandall requesting financial participation from the Texas Water Development Board, authorizing the filing of an application for financial participation and making certain findings, in connection therewith. And then item C is to consider and act on approval of resolution number 07202026D, authorizing the city's application for the state and local cybersecurity grant program. David, well, I guess obviously you've got the minutes in your packet, and then on the other 2 items, if anybody has any questions, David, why don't you just walk us through item B and C just very briefly?
Yes, items B and C are essentially 2 grants. Item B is a grant through the Texas Water Board. They recognize that there are a lot of water issues out in the state, so they have allocated additional funding, and that is essentially what we're going after so that we can get a piece of the pie. The specific purpose for this grant is so that we can build a water tower for new development to be able to come in. That is essentially what item number B is. And number C, or the letter C, that is cybersecurity grant. This is so that we can reinforce our cybersecurity in the city for both police and city hall. We're seeking $56,000. The other one is $2.2 million.
All right, any questions on the consent agenda items? If not, I would just need a motion.
Make a motion. Consent agenda items.
Okay, I've got a motion from Councilman Baker and a second from Councilman Martinez. All those in favor? Thank you. We'll move on to item 8, updates by Crandall ISD. Is there anyone here from Crandall ISD this evening? Okay. I know we keep them on the schedule once a month. I know for the summer, they may be out a little bit. So we'll move on to item number 9, presentation by TxDOT regarding the FM 148 redesignation associated with the US 175 and FM 148 bypass project.
Mayor and council, I would like to say that in behalf of our TxDOT representative, he had a family emergency tonight, so he won't be able to attend the meeting. We have 2 options. We can still address the item, or we can table it for the next council meeting if the council would prefer to have a TxDOT representative to be able to answer questions for the council.
Yeah, I know for me, I think the TxDOT, that they're the drivers on this, so they can describe what the reason is for the address changes and then answer questions.
Yeah. I think we can still allow the speakers, and since they signed up, and I can he texted me and let me know if council would prefer. He would be more than happy to be here at the next council meeting.
Okay. I've got 4 speaker request forms, and they were all for this item. And so I'm sorry to you guys that came, that our rep was not able to be here. If you would like to speak, you're more than welcome to. I certainly want to give you that opportunity. So I'm just going to call you out, and if you'd like to speak, great. If you want to wait till next time, I certainly understand that too. George, would you like to speak this evening? Okay, why don't you come on up?
George Woodley Jr., resident 801 South 4th Street, Crandall. I would like to address this agenda item. Truthfully, having the state here to explain it really isn't the issue. There is no, I have no, I have no belief that the state needs to do anything differently. They do what they do. They have the ability and everything it takes to designate any road in the state of Texas that belongs to them any way they want. So I'm not arguing whether South FM 148 should become FM 3039 North or anything. That is not part of that's not part of the discussion. The discussion is that right of way has always been state right of way. Fourth Street has part of Fourth Street has been part of FM 148. I think probably Church Street is part of FM 148. Lewis Street is part of FM 3039, and I haven't even been here long enough to tell you how long that's been true. But they've addressed in the 34 and a half years I've been here as 4th Street, Lewis Street, Church Street, whatever. So I believe that having the state representative here to explain why they changed it is really a moot point, because that's really not in question. They have the ability, everything they need to change that. Don't have any problem with them changing those numbers. Our issue is we've addressed as a city street for, I have a neighbor who told me 44 years. I personally know for 34 and a half years, addressed as city street. Them changing the designation of that state right of way really doesn't change the designation as a city street, because they've coexisted for many, many years. And what the county 911 development, when the state came out and said, oh, we're changing these designations, they came up with the brilliant idea of, oh, we need to readdress everything along those right of ways. And there's no contention about anything that had an FM 148 address on my part, because it's changing to FM 3039. My contention is the city has addressed this for many years, and I don't see any, and 911 knows where we are, knows all those addresses, and I don't believe the city has a real need to change those. The state, in the letter that they wrote, said that we're changing the designation of the road, but they didn't say anything at all about addressing. They just said we're changing the designation of the road. I believe that change designated 911 development. If we want to have somebody here to speak to that, then that would be a great idea. But I know the city has a lot more important things to discuss than this. It's just that this is an issue, and this is going to cost money. It's going to cost money to people and to the city. It's going to have cost the city money. Now, I can't tell you exactly how, but I promise you it will. And I appreciate y'all's time, and I appreciate the opportunity to address you. Yeah, okay.
I'm Deborah Woodley, and I live at 801 South 4th Street in Crandall. I think I just kind of want to reiterate what George said, that the issue is not with the state. and them changing the designation of 148 to 3039, that's not a problem. The problem is, does the city actually need to change 4th Street and Lewis Street that has always been a part of FM 148? My question for whoever, whatever expert y'all bring in, why does that need to change? Because it's always been a part of FM 148. So that's my question to, why does the city have to change the addressing of their streets that are along that same state? Okay.
Here, I want to see the man face to face when I address him. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. And then Mr. Tibbetts.
Thank you, Mayor Lindsay and council. So Chad Tibbetts, 400 South 4th, or FS 148, whatever that ends up being. To the point of the people that spoke before me, very same thing. The city's always had 4th Street. That house has been on 4th Street since 1934, and it's always been a part of FM 148. For me, the biggest issue is that nobody else knows that FS 148 exists. UPS doesn't know it exists. FedEx doesn't know it. Walmart doesn't know it. You know, all the grocery stores, anybody who would ever deliver something to my address doesn't know that FS 148 exists. So if I get a letter that says I've got 30 days to change my address, great. I'm more than happy to comply with that. But that means I will miss parcels until the world catches up with whoever's decision that is to make. So call TxDOT. They said, oh, that's not a TxDOT issue. That's a county problem. So call county, get routed 4 or 5 times, and they go, oh, well, Crandall is their own addressing authority. They get to decide whether that address gets changed or not. So I've been back and forth a few times. I'm happy to comply, but nobody's been able to tell me, how do we handle the fact that FS 148 does not exist until somehow the world is told that now it's been changed. So that's my issue. Thank you.
Thank you. David, because it's, I know we keep saying TxDOT, but a lot of this is the 911, 911. Josh, I don't mean to put you on the spot. Can you speak to the addresses in 911 and how that works with you guys? Again, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but how all this from an emergency service standpoint changes or affects what you guys do?
Yeah, so just from, I'll tell you just from our perspective, currently we get addresses, right? And, you know, if we get an address on South FM 148, right? All of our guys know where South FM 148 is, right? We also understand that if we get an address on 3039 or Lewis, our guys understand 3039 and Lewis are the same thing. Now, you know, my understanding is that they're attempting to change South FM 148 to 3039. I can tell you, from a public safety perspective, that's now going to be a new thing we have to train on, you know, and could it possibly create delays in service? Absolutely. Because you give me an address on 3039, our guys are going to go to 3039.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, same thing with, you know, all the historical names of the city streets versus the FM roads. You know, everybody's familiar with what those are. People that have lived here for a long time, we all understand that. Streets is hard enough to teach to new firefighters or to new drivers. You know, adding an additional name to something that already has 2 names is just, it gets real convoluted. So it's my opinion.
We do have somebody come. I would ask, I don't know, George, you guys have been here a couple times, but I mean, y'all have very valid questions. And then Josh, if you'll come as well, I just want to make sure they hear from everybody, from the emergency service side, from residents that are being affected, from the council. So we will get somebody in here to answer those questions. And then again, please come and bring your perspective, because I think they need to hear that. So.
Are
Yes,
we
sir.
allowed to ask questions too? Oh, well, I wasn't gonna ask a question anyway. I just-
Comment. Can I make a comment in general? Maybe. Okay, I'll make a comment later on. But it's about the timeline. The timeline that the addresses are uploaded into Apple Maps and all of that stuff. I think if we could get that type of information and at least be able to provide that to the citizens so that they can go, okay, for this time frame, I can expect that I need to be outside waving down UPS or whatever to do it. I don't know if that's available to us, but I sure like to get that.
The comment cards that you have, ask the city secretary to retain those and bring them for the meeting that TxDOT's here in the event that your people in the public aren't able to come.
Okay. Absolutely. And
To make a motion, table the time.
yeah, I would ask, not commenting or whatnot, but for direction. Craig asked for some information when the presentation is made. Does anybody else have any information they would like included in the presentation?
Just to, if we have any say so in the change, that's,
Okay.
I mean, that's what it really boils down to. Does the city have the opportunity or the right within the boundaries of the city limit to maintain what's existing? I understand they could be overlapping, but I agree. I don't know. Google Maps, I think, is what a lot of the delivery piece, at some point, I would just like to know what opportunity we have to disengage from the requests that were sent out to everyone.
Yeah, please.
So I can speak. I can speak on the city authority to, city has full authority. We can change that name to Mickey Mouse if we wanted to, right? And, but this is, in conversations with the 911 dispatching service, the main reason behind having a consistent numbering and also consistency with the roads, it's for safety issues. It is, then this is not uncommon for a growing community or a growing county to go through these type of changes. And it's not just happening in Crandall, it's happening in other areas where they're building other bypasses and other tax-up roads. That just comes with the change. But when you have roads that have 2 or 3 different naming conventions and then the numbering does not follow the proper sequence, then that makes it difficult for first responders. Now, I do understand that there are guys, police, fire, ambulance that have been here for a while, but those guys are going to move on at some point, and we need consistency with the future. The main reason for the naming convention and the change is for safety and to save lives. If anybody has a child that is drowning or a child that is choking, if that was, knock on wood, if that was to happen to me, I want 911 first responders there now. And if they have to run around in circles around the block trying to find it because somebody went out on vacation and they had to send somebody out from another agency for the ambulance, for example, then that can have some real consequences. So that is the main reason and purposing behind the naming convention, so that we can make it consistent with what 911 is, the dispatchers are recommending, and what's out on the county, so that whenever those dispatchers send somebody, they can put the dot right where they need to go, and the first responders can get to that house, within a timely manner.
All right.
But the last thing I can promise everybody who's affected by this, Amazon and Walmart will make it to your house again at some point.
All right. So I think Scott just asked you this, Judy, but since it was a presentation, do we need to take action? Do we need to table anything?
Center didn't show up.
Okay.
So it's self-evident, but it's not an action item, so
Okay.
it's optional.
I mean, we definitely want to have them come in. So,
So
I guess-
by tabling it though, you are basically giving direction that we want this to happen again.
okay. So
See what I'm saying?
Okay. So do y'all want to table it then? That just kind of leaves it on the agenda.
The agenda item.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That's fine.
I'll make a motion that we change this to agenda item for next council meeting.
I second the motion.
Okay. I've got a motion from Scott and a second from Craig. All those in favor? All right. We'll move on to item number 10. We have a public hearing, a request for a replat of Eastland Phase 4, Lot 4, Block BA for the installation of a cell tower. The property is identified as Kaufman CAD ID 242435, generally located on the southwest intersection of Broken Arrow Boulevard and White Mustang Drive. And it is, and is an approximate 0.511 acre tract of land situated in the John Moore Survey, abstract number 309 in the city of Crandall, Texas, ETJ, Kaufman County, Texas. This development was previously known as Heartland South. I'm going to open the public hearing at 7:48. Did we have anyone here to speak to that this evening?
Good evening, Edgar Salcedo with LJ Engineering. Address is 6060 North Central Expressway, Suite 400. This is for a replat for an open space within Eastland Phase 4 community. The replat would be for a cell tower site, which would be located north of the amenity center. Access would be provided by Broken Arrow Boulevard, and it's adjacent to a creek. This is to help with telecommunications in the area for cell service. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have.
Anybody have any questions for Edgar? All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And I will close the public hearing at 7:49, and we'll move on to item number 11. Discuss and possible action on approval of a replat of Eastland Phase 4, Lot 4X, Block BA for the installation of a cell tower. The property is identified as Kaufman CAD ID 242435, generally located on the southwest intersection of Broken Arrow Boulevard and White Mustang Drive, and it is an approximate 0.511 acre tract of land situated in the John Moore Survey, abstract number 309 in the city of Crandall, Texas, ETJ, Kaufman County, Texas. This development was previously known as Heartland South. You just heard Edgar's presentation. This is to put in a cell tower. Any questions or comments on this? I understand it went through P&Z. Were there any questions coming out of P&Z, or did that go smoothly? Okay. All right. If there are no questions, I would just need a motion.
Motion to approve.
Okay. I've got a motion from Caleb
Second.
and a second from Craig. All those in favor? All right. We'll move forward to item number 12. Discuss and possible action on ordinance number 07202026A. An ordinance of the city of Crandall, Texas, approving the 2026-2027 annual service plan update to the service and assessment plan for the Cartwright Ranch Public Improvement District and providing an effective date. There we go. See somebody starting to move around.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Mark Furman. I'm a Vice President with MuniCap. MuniCap is the city's Public Improvement District Administrator. So I have a few presentations for you tonight. They are service and assessment plan updates for the Cartwright Ranch, Arbors, and River Ridge Public Improvement Districts. These are routine updates of these service and assessment plans that were approved when the assessments were levied on each property within the districts. Up or down? Yeah. So I'll begin with Cartwright Ranch. Each report will follow a similar format. We'll discuss the authorized improvement budgets for each PID. Those are the improvements that are actually being financed by the PID. Then we'll describe the budgets for the PIDs for the coming year. Those budgets include a budget for debt service on special assessment revenue bonds that were issued to repay that debt, and then administrative expense budgets. We'll discuss any changes to the assessment methodology, any parcel subdivisions and consolidations, any property owner prepayments, and then I'll discuss next steps. So for Cartwright Ranch, for both the improvement area 1 and the major improvement area, which are the 2 active phases within the PID, there are no changes compared to last year. This is the exact same authorized improvement budget you all would have looked at last year. That is because the improvements are complete and the PID funds have been spent. So this is where we see the majority of changes each year. This is the budget for the 2026-27 assessment year, and here we have comparison to last year's budget. You'll notice a sharp decline in the net annual installment amount being billed to property owners. That's largely due to an increase in the TERS revenues received. So we have the Cartwright Ranch PID, and then overlaid on top of improvement area 1 is a tax increment reinvestment zone, where the city and the county have committed to use a portion of the incremental property taxes paid by each property in the TERS to offset their PID annual installments the following year. So what you're seeing here is a large increase in property tax revenue from tax year 2024 to tax year 2025. We look at what was paid the previous year and applied that to the current year PID annual installments. And as you can see, we're also paying principal on the special assessment revenue bonds, interest, and then administrative expenses that support the administration of the PID, the city's fees, MuniCap's fees, the county tax office has fees associated with billing the PID annual installments. There's a trustee involved who holds the PID funds as well. And please stop me if you have any questions at any point. So this is the impact to property owners. These are the gross PID annual installments for property owners in improvement area 1 of the PID. I would note that these do not include TERS credits, since those are property specific. They're based on what each property generated in property taxes in tax year 2025. Summary like this. So the actual annual installments billed to property owners, if they paid their city and county property taxes, will be lower than you see there. But pretty similar to last year on the gross level. This is the major improvement area budget. Pretty similar to last year. So the major improvement area has not been subdivided. It's still being billed to what we call parent parcels on subdivided tracts of land. So you'll notice the TERS credit, there's no TERS credit here. We did have some reserve fund income to reduce the annual installment, but otherwise it's just about the same that was billed last year. And as a result, the annual installments on a subdivided lot basis, I mentioned there aren't any subdivided lots. So this is what it would look like if there were subdivided lots in the major improvement area. There are no changes to the methodology for levying assessments this year. If there were to be, this would be a more substantive update. It would be an amended service and assessment plan, but this is a routine update. And there have been no additional parcel subdivisions or consolidations this year. There are also no property owner prepayments. If you're unfamiliar with that term, property owners have the option to prepay their assessment balance in full at any time. Thereafter, they're no longer billed annual installments, so they have flexibility to pay off their assessment balance and stop paying on an annual basis. But we have not received any of those. Should this report be approved, our next steps would be to record the report and the ordinance in county records within 7 calendar days, and then our office would coordinate with the Coffin County Tax Office to bill property owners based on the approved 2026-27 assessment rolls. Any questions on Cartwright Ranch?
Progressing as expected.
Yes. Yep.
Just in a general way. Any questions for Mr. Furman? I know we're going to do this a couple more times. Okay. I've got a motion to approve from Scott.
Second.
And a second from Craig. All those in favor? All right. We'll move on to item 13, discuss and possible action on ordinance number 07202026B. An ordinance of the city of Crandall, Texas, approving the 2026-2027 annual service plan update to the service and assessment plan for the Arbors Public Improvement District and providing an effective date.
Thank you. So this is a similar report, but for the Arbors Public Improvement District. The format and layout of the report will mirror Cartwright Ranch, so the sections are the same sections you saw just now. The authorized improvements. So you'll see this table is a little bit more comprehensive than Cartwright Ranch. That is because the developer has not submitted their improvement costs yet to be reimbursed by the PID. So you'll see in this format, we show spending to date, and so far the funds spent to date have been just the bond issuance costs. So we'd expect soon the developer to submit for reimbursement those authorized improvement costs as well. And we'll continue updating this table from year to year. So next year, you should see some additional spending. This is the annual budget for the PID. I don't have a 25-26 comparison here. Apologies, but the net amount billed last year was about $1.3 million. And you can see a pretty significant decrease here. That is because the structure of the debt changed. So last year we billed annual installments under a reimbursement agreement that was bonded. So that took the interest rate on the assessments from 7.49% to 5.29%. So savings for the property owners there. There was a TERS credit generated here as well. This is the net impact. Property owners with that change that I mentioned from the reimbursement agreement to the bonds, for that larger lot type, that was about $500 difference. It was about $3,200 for a 60-foot lot for an annual installment. Again, those do not include any TERS credits. There have been no changes to the assessment methodology. That debt structure was already handled in a updated service assessment plan at the time of bond issuance. And no additional parcel subdivisions or consolidations. And no prepayments. And just on this one, I'll comment that full prepayments are pretty rare when you have the TERS credit involved, because once you prepay your assessment balance in full, there'd be nothing to apply the TERS credit to. So you lose the benefit of that TERS credit. So we don't see a lot of prepayments when you have these significant TERS credits. Our next steps will be the same as Cartwright Ranch. The report and ordinance will be recorded, and then we'll work with the tax office to bill annual installments. Any questions on Arbors?
This is a Lennar project. Do they typically hold off on their reimbursement?
Yeah, it varies from project to project, developer to developer. The requisition process, some find it, they want to do everything in one go. So they want to complete all the costs and just submit one requisition package, whereas others want to be paid earlier and submit on a monthly basis. There's no preference for our county team that reviews everything thoroughly, no matter what. But we see a bit of both.
Did they save some interest if they wait? Is there a benefit to that, or is it just it's simpler? It's more simple to just submit one.
I mean, so the bond proceeds are put into an improvement account, and that improvement account is earning pretty low, like 2.5% to 3%, kind of what you saw in it's invested in similar investment pools to your general fund. So there'll be a little bit of additional money in the improvement account, but I wouldn't want to speculate on their business strategy, but I wouldn't see a large benefit in waiting in that sense.
All right. Any questions on the Arbors?
I have an informational question just because I'm curious. Okay. So if there's a TERS credit for a specific PID, like the Arbors, then your company reports that to Kaufman County Tax Assessor's Office.
So,
and just one second. Now you're going to be able to connect the dots for me, man. And then, like for me, my taxes and everything are in escrow. Is that reported up to the mortgage company, and then you get a reduction on your payment?
So the property owners are billed the net annual installment inclusive of the TERS credit. So our office does all that research. As part of this report, we worked with the tax office. We pulled every single property tax amount paid for every single property, and we're applying it to your PID annual installment. So what your mortgage company would see if they pull your property tax statement is your net amount inclusive of the TERS credit.
Okay. So the payment would be adjusted.
Yeah, if your
One way or
mortgage
the
company
other.
pays your property taxes
I
and
got
includes the paid amount.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, one thing I would note, and it's actually a good point, is for some of our newer property owners, so our office generates a projected schedule of annual installments that we can, again, like my annual installment per unit tables, can only show the gross amounts. So if we had a mortgage company that was basing information off the gross amounts, that's usually just a quick phone call between our office and them to describe how the TERS works and let them know if you look at the actual property tax statement rather than estimates, you're going to get closer to the actual net amount you could expect to be billed.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, any other questions on the Arbor's report? If not, I would just need a motion. I've got a motion from Scott and a second from Craig. All those in favor? Move on to item 14. Discuss some possible action on ordinance number 07202026C. An ordinance of the city of Crandall, Texas, approving the 2026-2027 annual service plan update to the service and assessment plan for the River Ridge Public Improvement District and providing an effective date.
Good evening. So our last report is the River Ridge Public Improvement District. River Ridge has 3 phases: Improvement Area 1, the Major Improvement Area, and Improvement Area 2. Improvement Area 2 is within the Major Improvement Area, so those property owners have an assessment that finances infrastructure that is directly related to their area, as well as a portion of the infrastructure for the Major Improvement Area. And that'll come up later. The format follows the same structure. So a little bit of everything here. So this is the authorized improvement budget for Improvement Area 1. Those improvements were completed last year and they're still completed. So this table has not changed since last year. It is the same for the Major Improvement Area. The infrastructure has been completed. Now here we have Improvement Area 2, where the infrastructure still in progress. The construction infrastructure is in progress, and the developer is continuing to submit draw requests to receive the bond proceeds. So here you can see we've updated spent to date, that second column from the right side there. That's updated with developer draw requests through June of this year. So we'll continue to update that column and the remaining to draw until improvements are complete. This is the annual budget for Improvement Area 1. You can see another increase in TERS credits as property owners start to pay more in city and county property taxes year over year. And this is the budget for the Major Improvement Area. No subdivisions in one subdivision in the Major Improvement Area. But that is a recent subdivision, so you'll start to see TERS credits increase moving forward. And this is the budget for Improvement Area number 2. Main difference here is last year, those bonds were newly issued. So there wasn't an excess amount generated in the reserve fund. Now that we have a reserve fund that's been earning a modest amount of interest every month, we're able to give that money back to the property owners as a reserve fund credit. These are the annual installments. Again, these are gross annual installments in a comparison to last year's. And these are the annual installments for the Major Improvement Area. And lastly, Improvement Area 2. There have been no changes to the assessment methodology since the latest approved SAP. We did have one parcel subdivision, so Improvement Area 2 was recently subdivided. So this is actually the same subdivision you're seeing, and what you're seeing is the allocation of the top table is the Improvement Area 2 assessments, and the bottom table is Improvement Area 2's share of the Major Improvement Area assessments. So these are the same 335 units that are being subdivided in each table, and we're showing how the different assessments move from the parent parcel to the individually subdivided lots. There have been no prepayments. And following, same as Cartwright and Arbors, after approval, should this be approved, The report and ordinance will be recorded in county records, and we will work with the tax office to bill the annual installments. Any questions on River Ridge?
I got a motion to approve from Craig. Second, I will give it to George. All those in favor? All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you all very
Appreciate it.
much.
All right, we'll move on to item 15, executive session. The council will hold executive session pursuant to the provisions of Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code in accordance with the authority contained therein. Executive session, Texas Government Code Section 551.074, discuss the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer or employee, the city manager quarterly review, and then Texas Government Code Section 551.071, consultation with city attorney to receive legal advice regarding contemplated litigation, eminent domain on Lone Star Road. So if I can get a motion to adjourn into executive.
Motion to adjourn.
I've got a motion from Craig.
Second.
And a second from Scott. All those in favor? All right, and that is at 8:07.
Sorry, it's not earlier.
You know, I didn't recognize you when you walked in, and when I saw you walk up here, I realized, you know what, Josh was probably still maternity leave.
Last day of paternity leave Thursday. I need him back. Good. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you as well.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you for coming out.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
let us know what you need.
Yeah.
Nice meeting you.
Oh, my God. That would be great. I haven't got our check. No, you're okay. But I checked her today, but it wasn't there yet. She said, see you later. Well, the mill is like, let's take it. Yeah. I can't tell you. I don't have to waste. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, because that's what's going to give us up right now. Yeah, it's fine. Like I said,
Yeah, and I'm the district engineer for 4A.
Yeah.
A lot of that goes on. Right now, we're looking at some referendums. So.
We're gonna talk, because they told me no, I don't know if you noticed that, right? They said no. But that's, I don't think I'm great.
Alright.
But I mean, I've been here for.
That's your island.
Okay, sorry. I don't know, this is. So what's this now? This is. Anyway, I should not scroll back. Okay, so, you know, surely. Okay, thank you. I was making sure I didn't, the video signature. So, I will reach out to the chairman and ask them to come by this week, and then as soon as it's recorded.
Thanks very much. Maybe I can.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, I'm like debating, I mean, I don't think, I can. Why do you have?
Yeah.
12 hours a week.
It's digital.
My world.
I did a business plan review the other day, and I started off the meeting at work, and I said, man, I gotta tell y'all what's going on with the city. And then, the VP of sales, he goes, I feel like we're paying you to be a council.
So bring it up. And make sure that I record the vote correctly.
Oh, God.
Yes.
David, you better be good.
All right, let's move on to item 16. Council will now adjourn executive session, reconvene into open session pursuant to the provisions of Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code, and take action, if any, on items discussed during closed executive session. So if I can get a motion to adjourn from executive back into open session.
Motion.
I've got a motion from Scott
Second.
and a second from Craig. All those in favor? All right, that's at 10:04. And then did we have any action coming out of executive session?
I make a motion to approve consultation with city attorney to receive legal advice regarding contemplated litigation, eminent domain Lone Star Road.
Manager.
And make a motion to authorize the city manager on that issue.
Okay, I've got a motion from Craig and a second from George. All those in favor? Okay, let's move on to item 17. If I can get a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
I've got a motion from Scott,
Second.
a second from Craig. All those in favor? All right, we're adjourned. Thank you.
Woohoo!